Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramams Parivrajakacarya, Ashtotar Shat, Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Granth-raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21, entitled The Dynasty of Bharata, text number 7. Athanyo bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipatehe vibhaktam vyabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Athanyo bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipatehe vibhaktam vyabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Athanyo bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipatehe vibhaktam vyabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Thanya bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipatehe bhaktam yabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Athanya bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipate bhaktam yabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Matajis. Athanya bhokshamanasya bhaktasya mahipate vibhaktam vibhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Athanya bhokshamanasya vibhaktasya mahipate vibhaktam vyabhajatasmai vishalaya harim smaran. Atha, thereafter, Anya, another guest, Bhokshamanasya, who was just about to eat, Vibhaktasya, after setting aside the share for the family, Mahipate, of the king. Vibhaktam, the food allotted for the family. Vyabhajat, he divided and distributed. Tasmai, unto him. Vrishalaya, unto a Shudra. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Smaran, remembering. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thereafter, having divided the remaining food with his relatives, Ranti Deva was just about to eat his own share when a Shudra guest arrived. Seeing the Shudra in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Ranti Deva gave him also a share of the food. Purport. Because King Rantideva saw everyone as part of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he never distinguished between the Brahmana and the Shudra, the poor and the rich. Such equal vision is called Samadarshina, Pandita Samadarshinaha. One who has actually realized that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart and that every living being is part of the Lord, does not make any distinction between the Brahmana and the Shudra, the poor, the Ridra, and the rich, Dhani. Such a person sees all living beings equally and treats them equally without discrimination. That's the end of purport. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are reading about the dynasty of King Bharata, and in his dynasty we are hearing about different kings, and now we are in today's verse and yesterday's verse we discussed about King Ranti Deva. So in yesterday's verse you all heard, it's mentioned that this king was very popular for his charitable nature. It's not easy, especially in Kali Yuga, to be charitable. Charity is also in 3 modes. It's described in Bhagavad Gita. Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. If someone gives charity to someone who is not fit to receive charity, or someone gives charity to someone who will misuse it for sinful activities, that charity is considered in mode of ignorance. Then if you give charity for name and fame, your own name and fame, to tell everyone, to show everyone how much charitable you are, just see I have given so much donation, I take care of the poor. So that charity, that sort of charity is more in mode of passion, Rajoguna. But the real charity, or at least the mode of goodness charity, is one which is given to a suitable candidate and without expectation of any return. So that is the charity in mode of goodness. But even above that, the charity given for Krishna conscious purposes is transcendental charity. It's above the 3 modes. So in Kali Yuga, everyone is very self-centered. So it's very difficult to give away your wealth without expectation of any return. It's very, very difficult. Sometimes wealthy people, they have charitable funds, but that's a part of their business wealth expansion. They put money there and to the whole world they show that we are giving charity. We are actually, they make their own charitable funds and use the money for their own sense gratificatory purposes in the name of charity. And just to show, they also give little bit to others. There was a famous charity around the world, and in Melbourne also you would find the volunteers collecting charity from people on the streets. So one time I asked one of those people, because we were distributing books on the street and those volunteers would always be there. So I asked, are you really concerned with this type of charity? He said, no, I'm not a volunteer, I am a paid worker. So that person was a paid worker, wearing a colored jacket. The color represented the charity. So that person said, no, I'm a paid worker. But then another person whom I knew, his friend used to work for the same charity, and he said that my friend actually saw that most of the money was not spent for what it was collected. So all these things are happening in the world. So we shouldn't be naive to think that there is charitable work going on in the world. So there is some good in the world. Yes, there is some good, but very less. Most of it is just a show. It's not real good. There are sense gratification is the main motive behind these so-called charitable missions. But here we see a real example from history. Ranti Dev. He was about to give everything that him and his family was supposed to eat. So it's not easy. Generally we just want what's for me. We want to take even others' quota. So what to speak of giving our quota for someone else? That's on a different level. First step is just to take what belongs to you, what God has ordained for you. That's why it's mentioned in Ishopanishad, Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinch Jagatyam Jagat Tyaktena Bunjita Ma Grida Kasya Swid Dhanam. Do not encroach on others' quota. God has given certain quota of material resources for everyone. So be satisfied with that. Don't encroach on others' quota. But because envy is the main characteristic of this material world, we think, why does this other person has more or better things than me? I also want that. Plus, I don't want that person to have that. So envy goes much beyond. First step is, within the mind you feel envious. Oh, how come this person has this quality or this possession? So within the mind you feel envy, and it's burning you from within. Jealousy, the nature is burning. Same with anger. Anger is like burning. Material desire is also like burning. They're all very fiery, bad qualities. They burn you from inside and make you hollow. In the sense, all the good qualities burn. If you encourage these bad qualities, envy, anger, material desire, lust, so you become hollow. All the good qualities go away. So we think, oh, how come this person has this, or how come he has this skill or quality or this possession, or he's a better partner, good-looking partner, or a wealthy partner. So we think like that and feel envious. And then we try to have better, just to prove that we can also have better than this other person or other people. We try very hard, over-endeavor. And then sometimes we succeed and most of the time we may not succeed, because karma is something very substantial. If we don't have karma to get something, we can endeavor, however, with however effort, we won't get it. If we don't have sufficient pious credits. So if we don't get it, we become frustrated. And then envy burns even more. So then what is the other option? To make other person lower? How can we bring the other person down? Or, cheat them and take away their possessions. So this is all envy, very difficult to give up. But Rantidev's example is very exemplary, that we should hear and learn. So he was seeing everyone on the equal level. In yesterday's verse also, the Bhagavad Gita verse from fifth chapter is quoted. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva shapake cha pandita samadarshina. So a learned person sees everyone equally. So a brahmana came to Rantidev to ask for some food. He gave brahmana some food. And now a Shudra came. So Rantidev did not make any discrimination. He gave Shudra some food as well. That was actually meant for himself and his family. So this is a very amazing example. So such a person who follows the scripture naturally develops good qualities. He gets knowledge, he gets renunciation. These are two byproducts of following Shastra and doing bhakti. So divinity and divine service is the second chapter of first canto, very important chapter. And there is one verse number 12. Tat shraddhana munyo gyan vairagya yuktaya pashyante atmani chatmanam bhaktya shruta grihitya. This is very important verse. It says, Tat shraddhana munyo, a person who is a serious and inquisitive student or a sage, Tat shraddhana munyo gyan vairagya yuktaya, such a person is equipped with knowledge and renunciation. What does such person do? He performs devotional service as it is given in Shruti, Vedanta Shruti or scriptures, the sound vibration coming from Supreme Lord. Bhaktya Shruta Grihitya. Such a person doesn't do whimsical devotional service. He does devotional service under guidance, under instructions coming from Guru Parampara, who follow the Shruti, the sound vibration coming from the Lord. So this verse is so important that Prabhupada quotes this verse in one of the purports of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this verse is in Bhagavatam and Prabhupada gives the purport to that. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the verses, Prabhupada quotes this verse. So as you see Prabhupada's purports in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Prabhupada writes a purport, he quotes verses from other scriptures. Like in today's verse, Prabhupada quotes from 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. This is a Bhagavatam verse and purport. So Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita verse. So similarly, in one of the Chaitanya Charitamrita purports, Prabhupada quotes this Bhaktya Shruta Grihitya verse from Bhagavatam. But then Prabhupada said this is very important, so let us also quote the purport which is given in Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada wrote himself. This is the only verse which Prabhupada does that actually. So I'll explain if it's not clear. In Chaitanya Charitamrita purport, Prabhupada quotes Tat Shraddhana Munyo verse from Bhagavatam, and then full purport from Bhagavatam is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita purport. And for only this verse. And then I haven't seen that in any other purport, in Bhagavad Gita purport or Bhagavatam purport. So this is very important verse. Tat Shraddhana Munyo. So we have to perform devotional service in a very submissive way with eagerness. And we have to do it in line of parampara, by taking instructions from parampara, which are based on Shruti, Vedanta Shruti. It's not whimsical or speculative actions. So that's devotional service, real devotional service. With loving mood, we do such devotional service. So we have to take opinion and guidance from those who follow the scriptures. We cannot take opinion from anyone, our friends or relatives. If they are equipped with knowledge of Shastra, then we can take. But if they don't have knowledge of Shastra, why should we take guidance or give heed to their opinions? Everyone has an opinion, right? But Krishna says, this is my opinion, me matam, in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. So we should hear the opinion of Krishna and pure devotees who are in parampara. Otherwise, everyone has different opinion and will be confused, very much confused. So in childhood, I think in one of my school books or one of the comics I used to read, of course, when we were younger, or even now, there are some paper comics and books like that. But unfortunately, as time is progressing, technological so-called advancement is there, and most of the kids from childhood, they are hooked to the screens, unfortunately. But in our childhood, we didn't have that. So we were fortunate in some sense. Anyway, so time is degrading and we must have compassion on future generations. So anyway, one of the comics, there was a story. So there's one father and little son, 5-6-year-old son. They live in the village and they have a donkey. They had to go to some relative's house in another far-off village. So they go with the donkey. So both father and the son are walking and the donkey is walking. They are taking the donkey. So they reach next village and all the people say, "How about foolish people? They have a donkey. They are walking. One of them can sit on the donkey, and save energy." So they hear those opinions. So the father sits on the donkey and son is walking, and then they go. They go to the next village and they say, "What a cruel father. Father is sitting nicely and the little son is walking." So they hear that. So they swap positions. So father starts walking and the son sits on the donkey. So in the next village, the villagers say, "What is this? This naughty child sitting there nicely. He has young, lot of energy. Old man is walking. What is this?" So they say, what to do, So both of them sit on the donkey. Then they go to the next village. They say, "Oh, poor animal. Both of them are sitting on the donkey. The donkey must be suffering." And now, they are almost run out of options. So what they do, they take a big bamboo rod, they tie the donkey on it, and they carry the donkey on their shoulders. And the next village people say, "What is this? Foolish people. They are carrying the donkey down. Donkey should carry them." So now they are exhausted. They were hearing everyone's opinion, and still someone was not happy. So they go to the next village. There was a river. They drown the donkey and they just walk. So basically the lesson there was, don't worry too much about public opinion. Unless someone is a devotee and he hears from parampara, he cannot give a perfect opinion. So we shouldn't worry. And actually all devotees who take up the practice of bhakti, you face this, that some family member or some relative or friends, they will say, "What are you doing?" So in the mind we should think, what do you know? You don't know the scriptures or what is the goal of human life. So why should we hear your words and give importance to them? So there are different sounds. Everyone is emanating sound, but we shouldn't take everything very seriously. in the newspapers and speeches and podcasts these days. So many podcasts are coming up. Why should we hear so many things? We should just hear from devotees who are in parampara, who are practicing it properly. It is said in business circles, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth, which means if those rich people go to the parties, cruise, and different events, and they strike friendship with other rich people and ask them, how did you make that deal? And they learn. And the other people are ready to share their knowledge because they are also networking there. So everyone benefits financially. They actually reveal their secrets to some degree because there is a mutual advantage there. So in the same way, for devotees, what is the net worth? The real worth or real wealth for devotees is Krishna Prem. So amongst devotees, like-minded devotees who are seriously practicing bhakti, we share our secrets. We discuss, okay, this is the issue in our spiritual life, how can we go forward? And then other devotees are merciful, they help us. So this is how a devotee increases his or her net worth, by networking with other devotees, which is, in simple terms, it's called sadhu sangha. But actually, if you see, this networking is going on the highest level. If you see big billionaires, multi-billionaires networking, that's nothing. In terms of real wealth, even few $100 billion or even $1 trillion, it's nothing as compared to the spiritual wealth. The opulence of spiritual world is beyond imagination. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is discussion between Srivas Pandit and Swarup Damodar. So there the discussion is about Vaikuntha and Golok Vrindavan. So Srivas Pandit, who is Narad Muni, is glorifying the opulence of Vaikuntha, and he says there are so many Lakshmis with so many jewels and ornaments and gold, everything is there. But your Goloka is, just like a village. So then Swarup Damodar explains that you can't even imagine what wealth is present in Goloka Vrindavan. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama se vimanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So each dust particle in Golok Vrindavan is a jewel, is a money. So how much how many dust particles are there? You can't count. It looks as if it's a village setting, but actually there's a lot of opulence there. And then there is Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha. The houses are also made of jewels. And Kalpa Vriksha, there are desired trees. You can ask anything from that tree, and the tree will provide. But it is mentioned the Brajvasis, they do not ask. They just ask for the particular fruit that tree is meant to provide. They just ask that. Actually, tree can provide anything you ask. But they don't ask because they are fully satisfied with their service. They don't need anything. There is no material desires there in spiritual world. And then there is Kama Dhenu, the wish-fulfilling cow. That cow can also provide everything that you desire. But they don't ask, they just ask for milk. And they are happy with that. So that is Goloka Vrindavan, spiritual world. The real wealth they have is the relationship they have with Krishna. They are fully satisfied with that. Even here we can feel some of the spiritual ecstasy when we are doing some service very intensely, especially during festivals or some busy events, we forget to eat, sleep like that, and we can go forward. One devotee was saying he went to Ukraine festival when it used to happen before the war broke, and there's so many thousands of devotees dancing. And this devotee mentioned, I danced for 6 hours without drinking, without going to, relieve myself to the toilet, dancing for 6 hours. So we can actually sometimes enter into that spiritual realm. It's explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Vakreshwar Pandit. He used to dance continuously for 72 hours. So that's 3 days and 3 nights, right? 24, 48, 72. 3 days, 3 nights without eating, drinking like that. And here we see Parikshit Maharaj is hearing from Shukadev Goswami for 7 days, 7 nights, and he says, I'm not feeling any thirst or hunger. So this is the spiritual world. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, they used to hear and chant whole day. Raghunath Das Goswami would take little buttermilk every day or every couple of days and be fully active because they're working on the spiritual energy like that. So slowly and slowly we have to build that stamina by this good association, and we get purified more and more. So yesterday in Founder-Acharya course we were discussing there is something called spiritual purification. Of course you can purify your senses, sense objects, your body, your mind, your association with others, but how to purify the spirit? What is spiritual purification? So it's mentioned in 10th canto, Aruya krichrena param padam tata patanti ado nadrita yushmad angraya ye arvindaksha vimukta maninas. So vimukti, there is mukti and vimukti. Mukti means liberation from cycle of birth and death. That's one stage. But if you go higher, then you can understand the relationship with Krishna. So one level of purification on spiritual level is to understand we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, but that's not enough. You have to go further. Many Mayavadis are also thinking like that. We are not the body, neti, not this, not that. They reject everything material, try to merge in the Brahman. So that's one level of transcendentalists. But if you purify yourself more, then we will understand that we are part of Krishna and we relate to Krishna in a particular rasa. There is Dasya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakhya rasa, like that. Men on this side, please. Yes, in the mornings. That's okay. So, that purification is called complete purification, vimukti. Otherwise, they are just thinking that they are liberated. If you think you are spirit soul and you want to merge in the supreme Brahman, that's just partial mukti. Full mukti is to understand your swarupa, your rasa with Krishna. So that's the full purification. And in this bhakti yoga process, we can get that. Just by chanting the holy name, we can understand our spiritual position, our rasa with Krishna. This Hare Krishna mantra is called Siddha mantra. How easy is that? Just by chanting, you can understand everything. Everything will be revealed. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upyanti te. Yesterday with devotees we were discussing that how in Bhagavatam you see everyone in wholesale is going back to Godhead. Devahuti goes back to Godhead. Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. His mother goes back to Godhead. Everyone, Vritrasura going back to Godhead. So there is no discrimination there. Even if someone is born in Asura family, or one is a man, woman, child, old, young, doesn't matter. What is the criteria? Dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upyanti te. Tesham satata yukta nam. If you are always engaged, properly engaged, yukta means properly engaged. And the best way to properly engage is Bhakti Yoga. Yukta Tama. Yukta means engage, properly engage, but then Yukta Tara means more properly engage. Yukta Tama means the superlative degree of proper engagement. End of 6th chapter it says, Yogi Namapi Sarvesham Samay Yukta Tamo Mata. So one who is a Bhakti Yogi, that is most properly engaged in devotional service. Otherwise, everyone is engaged to some degree, right? You see, as soon as you go out, people are going here and there. You know, Prabhupada says, dog is running on 4 legs, you are running on 4 wheels, what's the difference? Your dog is running after eating, sleeping, mating, defending. You are going in your car for the same thing. In essence, there is no difference. It's just one is more sophisticated, but you're desiring the same thing which an animal is desiring. So what's the difference? So everyone is engaged in activity, but proper engagement means at least you try to understand you're not the body. But then superlative degree is you are trying to serve Krishna in association of devotees. So that's the proper engagement. So in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam we see when Krishna enters Mathura, Kamsa wanted to engage, he wanted to kill Krishna by engaging him in wrestling match. So when Krishna entered the wrestling arena, all the Brajvasis were also there, Mathuravasis were there, the wrestlers were there, Kamsa was there. So different categories of people were there and they saw Krishna in a different way. So there is a very famous verse, Mallanam Ashnir. So there it's mentioned how these different categories of people looked at Krishna. It's the same Krishna, but according to the vision, you see Krishna differently. If you have envy, then you see Krishna as enemy. If you are related to Krishna, you see Krishna as your loving child or lover, like that. So various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways. When he entered with Balaram, so both of them were there as youth, 15-year-olds, 11 to 15-year-old, and they wanted to engage in the wrestling. So the wrestlers, they saw Krishna and Balaram as thunderbolt. They could see they have young body, but because of their vision of enmity, they could actually understand they are like thunderbolt, we won't be able to defeat. But they had to engage, otherwise Kamsa will get them killed. So they were trapped. So the men of Mathura, they saw Krishna as best of the males, the Mathuravasis. And the women who were younger women who had Shringar Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, devotees, they saw Krishna as Cupid personified, the love god personified. And then the cowherd men were also there from Vrindavan. They were also sitting in the arena. So they saw Krishna as their relative. And there were some impious rulers. They saw Krishna as the chastiser. And the parents of Krishna, they saw him as their child. And Kamsa saw Krishna as death personified, because he knew Krishna is my death, and he was in double mind. Krishna is here to kill me, but I will kill Krishna. How can you kill your death? It's not possible. So that's why he was very bewildered. And then there were some unintelligent people. They saw Krishna as universal form. It's mentioned in 11th chapter. Actually, devotees are not interested to see the universal form because it's very ghastly. But most people want to see the whole world. Oh, I want to go here, want to go there. See, sightseeing. What is there to see? There is birth and death everywhere. So those are unintelligent people who want to see the universal form. So that's how, and the yogis, they saw Krishna as the absolute, and Vrishnis saw as their worshipable deity. So we can see Krishna in a different way. If we have love, we can see Krishna as our most beloved person. So that is the ultimate goal. In the beginning devotees, they see Krishna as the order supplier, that I'm, as a business transaction. Oh, I did this service for you, so Krishna, you should give me this benediction. So this is a business. But the real devotee gives everything just for the pleasure of Krishna. Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhoshi dadati yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurush madarpanam. Everything should be devoted to Krishna. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever charity you give, every effort should be given to Krishna. There is one verse in 11th canto which is said at night you should recite that. I don't remember that verse fully. Basically, in that verse it says, Yat karoshi samarpayet tat. Means whole day, whatever I did with my mind, with my senses, let it be dedicated to you. So that's in 11th canto. So I have given something, I have engaged my senses in something, I have engaged my mind all this time in something, but in the end, let it be for you. I don't want anything in return. So that's the meditation of a devotee. So slowly, if we practice that, we can reach the level where Ranti Dev is, on a very high level, seeing everyone equally and as part of Krishna. So that's the topmost vision of Uttam Adhikari. So I'll end there and see if you have any questions or comments on what we discussed. Yes, any mic?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you were mentioning the description of Goloka Vrindavan, how it has many desire trees with spiritual gems on it. So Prabhu, I'd like to ask, why is there a mention of, these desire trees, even only because we go to Golok Vrindavan only when we're Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam, or completely free of our desires. So is there a mention of these spiritual gems just to indicate the greatness of Goloka Vrindavan? Does that mean that, opulence is greater than tranquility and a peace of that place?
Yeah, so spiritual world has different gradations. So the story of Gopakumar is there in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and as he progressed from different material planetary systems, then to Brahma Jyoti, and then to Vaikuntha, then Ayodhya, then Dwarka, then Goloka, each time he went forward, he could see the opulence of the realm was much more than the previous realm. And the beings, living entities in a particular realm were more beautiful than the previous realm. He could compare that. So that's how spiritual world is made, designed. So spiritual world means the topmost, Param Dham. So there everything has to be the topmost of topmost quality and opulence. So that's why it's like that. So the standard has to be shown what is topmost. So we can compare. And Krishna tells you that in Bhagavad Gita. Na tad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavaka. There it's not the dark planets. They are self-effulgent. That's the quality of spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. They are self-effulgent. The sun and moon are there, but they don't diminish the life. Here, each setting and rising and setting of sun takes away one day of your life. But in spiritual world, these things are there, change of time, everything, but everyone is eternal there. Everything is opulent. There is no deterioration. So to compare that, Krishna says, Na tad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavaka. But this material world, everything has end. But we are hankering after tiny opulences of this world. So that's why, to show the standard that this is the standard, this is the highest opulence, why are you worrying about these small things? When Dhruva Maharaj realized, when he saw Narayan, he said that I was hankering for broken pieces of glass. Now I have got the real jewel. So if you have real jewel or diamond, will you go for a broken piece of glass? There is no value. You can't even sell broken piece of glass. It's actually, glass is made of sand, right? Silica. So what is sand here? Earthly sand. If you get a real diamond, which is worth so much. So in the same way, we have access to spiritual world and there is a lot of opulence. So these descriptions are there so that we develop distaste for this temporary dukhalayam shashvatam. Any other question or comment? Hare Krishna.
As you said, a spiritual world is full of bliss and happiness, and we can also feel that ecstasy to some extent here. But now, this material world is also a very hard place, like especially when you are grahastha, you have got a job to maintain, you have got all the overheads that comes. And this place is also very competitive. You have to stay very competitive, very fired up in your job. Otherwise, you'll be outsmarted. And that takes a major chunk of your energy. Also gives you a lot of anxiety, which takes away quality time from your sadhana. So how to deal with such situation?
So as we hear from senior devotees, Grahastha ashram can become, there is more tendency of becoming, making it very complicated. One time one Melbourne Grahastha asked me this. He bought a new house and after a few months he said, just because he was my very good friend, or not a good friend, but we had some dialogue at that time. So he revealed, he said, there is no end. I got this new curtain, now new decoration there, new improvement in the garden outside. Where to stop? So this is the point, because your house is like your field. So you can improve it as you like and expand things as you like. But seniors advise that to keep it simple, because more you expand, more time is required. Time is limited. There is only 24 hours. So less expansion is there, so you spend less time there. So the point is, of course, there is not every grahastha will have same size of house, same number of possessions, same number of same amount of wealth. There's differences. So the point is the ease with which wealth comes. So everyone has to exert, you have to put food on the table, so you have to work. But what is the calibration, what is the criteria? Your spiritual life, your hearing, chanting should not be hampered. If you can do that and in remaining time you can earn millions, that's fine. But we shouldn't over endeavor. So to some degree we have to, grahasthas have to engage with material world, materialistic people at work or business. So we do as much as possible. A devotee is very expert, just like Arjuna. He was a pure devotee, but he was a soldier. And he was expert in military art. And he was fighting there, he was giving his full. He was giving his full effort, materially also. But the goal was Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. He was thinking of Krishna and doing it as for pleasure of Krishna. So that's the point. We have to go in the world and fight, and we should do it with full expertise. We should give full, but then main top priority is bhakti. That should not be compromised. And Krishna will give intelligence, how much to engage in material world. It should be bare minimum, whatever is required, whatever time and effort has to be required. That's my understanding.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Okay, let's finish there. Granth-Raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanstam Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanushtam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,